converted. People are converted less easily than they are conquered. What endures in us is not happiness, but resistance. Culture survives by their obstinacy. The inconvertible is the core of identity. Civilization depends on its capacity to refuse improvement. But modern therapy forbids the very conversion it descends from. Conversion therapy is the secular ghost of salvation. The pathologizing of desire repeats the structure of sin. Healing when moralized becomes a new heresy. To repair is to imply that someone knows what wholeness is. To repair is to imply that someone knows what wholeness is. Reparative and conversion both presume the world is broken. Reparation requires an ideal, conversion supplies one. Every cure hides an image of paradise. To be fixed is to be reabsorbed into the law. The wish to mend is the soft face of domination. To convert is to move between ontologies. Conversion presumes identity is stable enough to migrate. Change presupposes something that endures. The self must be substantial to be transformed. The mystery of change is the persistence of the changer. Conversion forces us to ask, what should people do to one another? Influence is the secular name of grace. Every pedagogy risks becoming propaganda. All teaching is a negotiation with enchantment. Persuasion is violence rendered polite. The century of conversion became the century of coercion. The modern world mistrusts persuasion because it remembers propaganda. Hitler and Stalin industrialized the soul's malleability. Every totalitarianism begins as pedagogy. When education becomes destiny, conversion becomes horror. Liberalism prefers conversion to conversation. Dialogue replaces dogma as the mode of salvation. The liberal mind defends itself through plurality. The half-truth is sanctified as method. To be liberal is to be perpetually undecided. Different experiments of living are the liberal miracles. Diversity is the secular pluralist's heaven. The liberal distrusts certainty as a moral duty. Consensus is merely compression in disguise. To agree completely is to have ceased thinking. Conversion always invents a collective. To be converted is to belong to someone else's grammar. Every conversion creates a we out of a you. The new truth is always communally rehearsed. Conversion is the socialization of revelation. The converted feel liberated from molds. The liberal sees them newly molded. Every release is a new confinement with better lighting. Enlightenment is a cage made of glass. Certainty feels like oxygen to the newly saved. The convert's conviction is the unbeliever's warning. Conversion transforms doubt into ontology. The convert mistakes conviction for essence. Essentialism is the metaphysical narcotic of certainty. The liberal refuses to believe in essences, but still longs for belonging. Every argument about identity is a disguised theology. The unconscious cannot be evangelized. Desire is not a doctrine, but a drift. Psychoanalysis converts revelation into interpretation. Analysis is confession rescripted as curiosity. Language is the true converter. Words do not persuade, they rewire. Every sentence carries an invisible voltage of influence. The therapist's tone replaces the priest's incense. Talking cures because it charms. Language does things to us while we think we do things with it. Every conversion is a minor possession. Speech is the polite form of sorcery. The daemon of language is persuasion without consent. To speak honestly is to wrestle with enchantment. Conversion is the erotic form of education. Seduction teaches by disarming. Suggestibility is our most human faculty. We fear the spell of intimacy more than the threat of violence. To be moved is to be momentarily converted. The convert reveals the permeability of the soul. We envy their certainty and despise their surrender. Every conversion tempts the unconverted with envy. The saved are the unconverted haunting. Faith divides the world into those who have yielded and those who resist. The first conversion is material. The first conversion is maternal. Love was the earliest theology of transformation. The infant's world begins as an act of persuasion. Dependence is the origin of devotion. Every later conversion repeats the first enchantment of care. The transformational object is the psychic prototype of conversion. Every ideology is a surrogate mother. What we call vocation is the longing for the first caretaker. The convert repeats infancy's astonishment in adult disguise. To be transformed is to be reminded of dependency. We crave conversion as the return of the mother. We fear it as her engulfment. Every conversion is both reunion and captivity. The promise of transformation conceals the threat of regression. Our longing for newness is nostalgia in motion. The adult's faith repeats the infant's need to be held. Honest persuasion requires mutual risk. The analyst listens where the priest commands. The ethical word invites, never compels. True conversion is the conversion of coercion into curiosity. The highest art of change is persuasion without domination, language that transforms without conquering, and love that convinces without converting.